Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ, and I'm here with Tim, I Live in My Fears, Harris, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Today is the Steelers Cowboys post-game show. Wow, I almost had a heart attack. Tim and I just right off camera, we were talking about Tim was stress eating pretty bad. Tim, tell everybody what you were eating through the game and what you just wolfed down just now.
I mean, I didn't eat anything during the game. During the game, I was nothing. But, I mean, after the game, I've been wolfing down chocolate like it's going out of style. I mean, still feels like a loss to me.
He's still eating now. That's true. Well, I almost had a heart attack. For those of you that missed the game somehow, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Dallas Cowboys 24-19 in a game much closer than I predicted. It was an intense game, not very fun or relaxing to watch at all. At least I don't think it was. What do you think, Tim?
I mean, I got injured in the fourth quarter. I feel like I should have got the game ball.
How'd you get injured? What happened, Tim?
I don't know. Something with the lower back, my sciatica. I mean, I had to stand the whole fourth quarter. And I was rubbing my butt against the corner of the couch. We're trying to rub out my sciatica. I was playing hurt. I played hurt. I did.
I'm glad you played through it, Tim. I think you're a champion.
I mean,
for those of you, if you can't see right now, Tim is donning the Franco's Italian Army helmet from the 70s for an eighth time. 8 games, 8 times the helmet's out. How's that helmet feeling right now?
I mean, I can't. I'm gonna have to add this to the injury report. Cut up head, sciatica. I mean, Steelers should be giving me a game ball. Should be in the mail.
It should be. You're right. They don't understand how valuable you are to the team, Tim.
I mean, the whole fourth quarter stood up. The whole fourth quarter, and I had to have my arms crossed with my shirt off the whole fourth quarter.
Well, you took your shirt off. Your poor daughter, your neighbors, were your windows closed, or could anybody see you?
Baby Olivia saw a different side of daddy tonight.
You think she might need therapy after the game tonight?
When I kissed her and I put her in her crib goodbye, I said goodnight. She looked at me like. She gave me that look of I don't know you, Daddy, and I just.
Well, you got to do what you got to do for the team. I mean, yeah, I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. Boy, was I wrong.
TJ,
the action, it was
the
intense.
Steelers are never. They play down to their competition. They do it all the time. Except it's the Browns. If they're playing the Browns, like they beat the crap out of the Browns 99% of the time, like blow them out. I mean, I called it. I said it was going to be. I had a feeling in my gut. And I thought that they put it this way: they were outcoached, they were outclassed. If it wasn't for me toughing it out in the fourth quarter, this team loses.
Well, Tim, I think us, the Steeler Nation, we collectively say thank you. Thank you for toughing it out, Tim. Mm-hmm. It was great. The game wasn't like intense enough. And then I got Wahoo McGillicuddy over here texting me, FaceTiming me, living in his fears. You know, this is terrible. We're going to lose the number 1 seed. These guys are awful. I called it. And I'll be honest with you. I was starting to lean toward your direction. But then for that brief moment, for that millisecond, I pulled myself back together and I said, no. My coach, Mike Tomlin's going to right the ship, and he did. He did. And
I don't think your coach righted the ship at all. I think number 7 righted the ship. That's who righted the ship. I think Coach T lived in his fears at the end of the game. We'll get into that, I'm assuming.
All I know is after this game playing the Cowboys, the Steelers are 8-0. So, Tim, what are your initial thoughts about the game tonight?
They looked terrible. They were outcoached. I mean, this tells you they barely beat the Cowboys, and the turnover ratio was what? Dallas turned the ball over twice?
Yeah.
And you barely beat that bum of a squad? I mean, I don't know. Maybe Mike McCarthy has Tomlin's number. He beat him in the Super Bowl. I don't know. That team, they were outcoached. They were outcoached on offense. They were outcoached on defense. And they were sure as heck outcoached on special teams.
See, I don't know if they were outcoached as much as I think that they were flat. They came out very flat.
TJ, they didn't get out of their defense when this bum was shredding them or doing what he was doing, shredding them apart. Blitz them. I'd rather just live on your shield. And I'll tell you right now, this is the beginning. 41 needs to stop playing because guess what? They threw to that tight end 19,000 times, and guess who was covering him? 41. He can't cover anybody.
Yeah. Well, I think they're addressing that. Hopefully, hopefully we got number 51 that'll be available this week. Our new pickup, Williamson, should be there. So, I agree. It was definitely different than I think anybody could have called it. But it was. But we got the victory. So let's start with the Steeler offense. Let's talk about some things that the Steeler offense did poorly. I mean, obviously they couldn't run the ball. They were struggling to run the ball.
I just didn't get the game plan. It didn't get the game plan. Ben was throwing a lot deep, which I didn't get. Overthrown guys. The whole thing just didn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I think they still could have ran on the team, but the line didn't play well. The line was getting beat up. To me, early in that game, they were getting beat up. I just didn't understand the game plan coming out. I just don't. Seemed like once you got past Fitchner, his scripted plays, they were okay. He stinks too. Go ahead. I don't know.
So I mean, obviously the offense struggled. I mean, they put it together toward the end. So what are some things you think that the offense did well?
Let Ben call the plays. I mean, to me, here's what didn't make any sense. There's so many, I think there's a couple third and ones, fourth and ones. Mm-hmm. Why is your bell cow, James Conner, not running the ball? They had McFarland run it on a third or fourth.
I don't understand that. He's not big enough to do that. I don't understand.
And you had Benny Snell. I just don't. He's not your. Just give the ball to Conner. He's your bell cow.
Yeah.
Just give him the ball. I just didn't understand it.
Well, sometimes you outcoach yourself. Sometimes you think, well, they're not going to think he's going to run the ball here. That series where they had like three times to get 1 yard and they couldn't get it. Mm-hmm. Just put your big guys in, and just at some point in football, you just got to say, you know what, what we're going to run. We know that you know what we're going to run, and we're just going to run it anyway.
Well, here's the thing: is Derek Watt not healthy?
I don't think he is. Apparently,
he dressed.
There, he must still have a hammy thing because I even saw Ebron in the backfield one time.
If he's getting a helmet, he should be in there to block somebody if it's on one leg, or put that long-haired freak number 99 in.
Your guy, huh?
Do something. I mean, you got bring a fullback in the game.
Yeah.
If you can't get a yard on the Dallas Cowboys, the worst running defense this year. I mean, they're historically bad. Like, if you can't get a yard on them, we're going to have issues.
Yeah. Well, I think too, part of the Steelers going down the way that they did too. And I think, when you look at this game, all the pressures on the Steelers, I think they got out of the running attack early because they found themselves down. And I think Ben just put them on their shoulders. So when you look at all the offense, who's your offensive player of the game?
Ben. No, you know what? You could always give it to Ben. I mean, he's a quarterback. I'm going to say Juju. Juju had a great game.
Let's see what Juju's stats are. I think you're right. I think Juju did amazing tonight. Let me pull up what he did. He had 6 receptions, 93 yards again, but he was clutch.
Yes.
And a TD. Anytime, and you could tell, toward the end of the game, Ben was looking for him, and that's a good thing too. By the way, Ben's stats, which are, obviously he put up the ball 42 times. Nobody wants to see that. He was 29 for 42, 306 yards, 3 TDs.
I mean, he was fantastic. But I said you can give the player of the game on offense to Ben almost every game. I mean, because truthfully, you saw Mason come in that game.
What was it? What went through your heart when you saw Mason come in there?
He came on the field. I'm like, he looks like he has some confidence brewing from his stupid face. And then I see him pass the ball, and I'm like, this dude has been in the league for 4, and he still sucks. How is he our backup quarterback?
I don't know. It's bad. It's so bad. This point, I think he lost his mojo.
He never had any mojo.
Well, let's pray to God that Ben's knee's okay. I'm going to agree with you. I think our player of the game, I'm going to give 2 game balls, 1 to Ben and 1 to Juju. Boy, he came up huge, and he just gives them an energy lift too. When he does that, he played very well. I do like how they're mixing Claypool in, more too. He's a go-to guy too. And Deontay looked pretty decent tonight. He did. I mean, other than the one target to to 13 to Washington. They didn't do a ton with him.
And you know what? I think something's not being seen that I think's kind of, it's not like a stat thing or like that I think Ben's doing that's incredible. Next time you watch a game, watch him what he's doing with Ebron. He is moving him around constantly to get matchups with the other receivers. And I think it's kind of genius when he's doing it, when he has the free reign to do it. But you could tell he is moving Ebron everywhere. And it's causing matchup problems for other receivers. I mean, it's causing us to get in better matchups for other receivers. So it's something that's kind of nobody's really paying attention to.
Boy, isn't it great to have a great threat at tight end again? I don't know if the Steelers have ever had anybody like him. He's just like a big wide receiver.
He can't block. He can't block for anything.
Well, I know that. I think you got Vance in there for blocking, but I mean, I love his versatility and even his athleticism. You see him hurdle that guy at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we tried to do that, Tim?
I mean, TJ, I played hurt fourth quarter. I was tough, man.
You were, Tim. And I think, again, Steeler Nation says thank you. You did a great job. Mm-hmm. Let's flip over to the defense. Let's talk about the defense. What are some of your thoughts about the Steeler defense?
They stunk. I just don't understand. I mean, I think that was more of a game plan thing than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they were sitting back in the zone and just letting this dude try to get, you got to pressure him a little bit.
You do.
It just didn't seem like they did it. They threw to, I mean, after a while, all he did was throw to the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, you can say, hey, just do something with the tight end, and they just didn't.
How do you think Bugs did tonight?
They ran on us. I mean, so I don't think he did well at all. I didn't even see him in the game majority of the time. I saw a lot of the
long-haired guy,
the white-haired freak, and I saw I want to say Carlos Davis, the rookie that they drafted. Yeah. I didn't see Bugs a ton. Yeah. I mean, if Alu being out is this glaring when it comes to the run defense, I mean, wow,
he's a stud.
Wow. I mean, Gilbert's that quarterback for Dallas stinks, TJ, and they made him look like Johnny Unitas back there.
They gave him time to throw. I mean, that's just what they did. They gave him time to throw.
I couldn't believe they gave that. Dallas's line stinks, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you. They played very inspired football. So who do you think? Give me some of your. Did the defense do anything well tonight?
I mean, they turned him over. I mean, the two turnovers were humongous. I mean, Mika had what, 2?
Yeah. Boy, Mika was a stud tonight, wasn't he?
Mika had 2, and he pretty much had the pass breakup at the end of the game.
He did. Mika's come back to life. Thank God he's back there, right?
Vince Williams played well. I think I saw him a lot on the field. I mean, other than that,
I think Vince led the team. If I remember, I think he led the team in tackles, solo tackles. I think he had 6 solo tackles and 2 assists.
What did Dallas?
Spillane had 6, and then Mika 5 and 1, and then a pick. And I guess they officially ruled the other one a fumble. I don't know how. Didn't touch the ground,
but I mean, what did Dallas do? What did they run for? 100, about 100, over 100?
They ran for.
I thought like $144 or so, $150.
Collectively as a team, let's see, they ran for 144 yards.
Can't do it, man. Can't have that.
And the Steelers only ran for 46 yards, but we put up 300 yards in passing. Actually, they edged us by 10 yards, total yards.
I mean, to me.
And they whomped us time of possession again. Their time of possession, they had, they had it for 30, almost 34 minutes.
I mean, Dallas defense stinks. It seemed like I saw way too many 3-outs. I will say this: Jordan Berry actually punted half decently.
He did,
but the special teams in general, they were outcoached. I saw. I mean, on field goals, the same dude jump. They did it every time. I mean, eventually, don't you got to kind of just? Can't you make that adjustment somehow, some way?
Yeah. Which was odd. I saw in that first block, he actually jumped over like right next to the long snapper. Which I don't know how he got up that high. That's just incredible to me. I mean, usually that's crazy. But so who's your defensive player of the game?
I mean, Mika. I mean, he made the big plays when we needed him. So I'm going to say Mika.
He did. I think I'm with you there too. I don't think, I think Tuitt he had a decent game. But I'll tell you what, Cam in the end, he came up huge, didn't he?
He did. Where's Bud in the past couple games, man?
Bud the stud. It's weird.
I'm sorry. He had some plays in Baltimore, but he was nowhere to be found in Dallas.
I don't like their scheme because they're again. I think it'll change once we get Williamson back there too. They're using a lot of these guys in the middle. I saw Bud, playing almost like middle linebacker a few times, which was just odd to me. So hopefully that'll change. I don't know why they didn't go into some nickel. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know. Like you said,
I think having Mike Hilton out is hurting them a lot more than people see.
And hopefully we'll get him back too. I'm with you. I think Mika was my defensive player of the game. And again, you talked about special teams. You talk about heartbreaking too. You got Boz who misses, he misses an extra point and he misses a field goal, but then he kicks a 59-yarder. Again, special teams we need help with. I got to tell you this though, I was very impressed with Barry.
But yeah, besides the first punt, which I thought was terrible, like 30-some yards, he kicked the ball pretty well. I mean,
I wanted to see what his average of kicking was. I was pretty impressed.
It had to be in the 50-yard range in that area.
But he was booming. I mean, it was absolutely nuts. I got kick returns. That's it. I don't have the rest of it. But he did well tonight. But they got to figure out how to hold that line, I think. So that's the offense and the defense for us. We came away with a win, which is good. We did have a few things go into the Yinzer mailbag tonight. Again, you may ask, what is the Yinzer mailbag? The Yinzer mailbag is when you, the fans, get to ask us anything. Anything you want, the Yinzer Bros. You can ask us about the Steeler game. You can ask us about the podcast.
Before we get into the Yinzer mailbag, I just ask you one question. I mean, what was your thoughts on that 4th and 1 and Tomlin not kicking the field goal?
Kick the field goal. Make them beat you with a touchdown. I mean, they still could beat you with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but put the pressure on it. Make it so you can't lose with a touchdown. I don't know why they don't kick it there.
I understand they were having some troubles all day with the kicking, but again,
still kick it.
If you're Mike Tomlin, what's the old saying?
We don't live in our fears, Tim.
Exactly. You don't live in your fears, Mr. Tomlin. Kick the field goal.
You kick the field goal. Again, I know, and I don't. Again, I think Dallas was playing pretty inspired. And let's just be real. They played like they had nothing to lose. They're running trick plays on returns and stuff like that, which, to their credit is great. But I think they played loosey-goosey. And there were a few things I didn't understand, why the Steelers did. And again, part of it might be coaching. I mean, we know this. We know that Tomlin doesn't directly coach the special teams, but I do feel like they were outmatched in a few things. But again, the adjustments worked out in the end, and we did win in the end, which was good. So I don't know, but I'm with you. I think you should have kicked that ball. I was screaming to the TV, kick the ball. My kids will tell you that. And again, this defense, it's weird. They're not like completely stifling, but it seems like anytime they need to come up and take the air out of the tires or take the breath away of a team, they come up with those big plays, those takeaways. Getting down like by the goal line, man, that stop at the goal line where they grabbed that ball again. I thought it was a pick, but they considered it a fumble. I mean, those are just amazing.
But they're taking those opportunities against bad teams.
I get it.
You wait till playoff time. You pull that crap. Guess what? We're gonna be doing a Yinzer podcast. I'm not going to be donning this metal cap.
I think the Steelers have yet to play their best football. I think they're still trying to figure it out. So hopefully they do. And again, I think as we progressively see, let's just be real. I think the loss of Bush hurts them on the defense, and Alu is huge. So hopefully we'll get him back in the next couple of weeks. Which would be good. I think we're going to need him for Cincy. I don't think Cincy's a pushover. So again, back to the Yinzer mailbag. If you got any questions, anything you want to ask us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. Again, that's yinzerbros@gmail.com. First thing in the Yinzer mailbag was this. How does it feel, Tim, to be 8-0?
I mean, it feels great. But I will say this one almost feels like a loss, like it did back in 10, like when I was a Tennessee game that I flipped out about.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like it just doesn't feel like an 8-0 team, TJ. It just doesn't. When I look at teams and I'm watching teams, especially because you had a chance today to kind of sit back and watch teams play, because like Steelers really, usually playing at noon with majority of games. I was able to sit back and watch some of these noon games, and you're kind of like, watch Kansas City game, even though I had a tough game. I'm like, I feel like they would just go up and down the field on the Steelers.
You look at like the Seahawks. I don't think anybody would have predicted them to lose today, and they did. I keep seeing them in the top 4, top 5.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm happy that they're 8-0. Of course, I'm happy. It's like, at least be excited to go to face if Boulder hits this earth. I'm gonna be so ticked this year.
So I think we enjoy 8-0.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Here's another great question.
I'm gonna be, but the thing that sucks is by the end of this streak, I'm gonna be 500 pounds because I just keep looking down chocolate.
Keep eating that. Hey, you got to do it now. You got to eat it now because it's part of the ritual.
Yeah.
Tim, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had blueberry pancakes, pellets.
What'd your daughter have?
Same thing. Face full of blueberries.
Hey, you got to do it now. Did you wear the same shirt you've been wearing?
Yeah, didn't wear it a lot of the game though. I had it around my neck, was biting on it a little bit.
Oh, jeez. Maybe that's the issue, Tim. Do you normally take it off and bite on it, or do you wear it?
It comes off, goes around my head, throws. It smells awful. I mean, it has just a horrible stench to it.
Well, you can't change it now because the team's depending on you, Tim.
I mean, soon they're going to be. I expect at some point here the team carries me off on their shoulders. That's what should happen.
It is. Here's another question. I think it's a great question. What went through your mind when Ben grabbed his knee?
First, I thought it was his arm. Anytime Ben gets hurt now, like I could see, if I even physically see the person maybe hitting his ankle, I'm automatically thinking it's his arm. I go, oh my God, it's his arm. It's his arm. So when I saw him get up and I saw him kind of rub his knee, I go, let me see, and I saw him make a pass and I go, Ben, I mean, anything with the lower body, it's usually like, Ben, you're fine. When you talk about the upper body and the arms, that's when you get nervous. Like the lower body, my guess is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he'll be in a walking boot. Or something of the sort. Then, he'll come out and throw for 500 yards against the Bengals. It is kind of one of those things. It's kind of like, I feel like it kind of woke him up.
It did.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Mason. Just don't want to see that cat, dude. He stinks.
He does stink.
Stinks.
He's bad.
His face is just so stupid.
He's so bad. He's terrible. Yeah, Ben. Ben's kind of a drama queen too. So he'll go out and then comes back. So what went through your mind when you saw Mason Rudolph come out?
See, this is where I got a little bit nervous because I said, I know Ben's a drama queen, and I'm thinking when I saw him go up to the tunnel, I go to my wife. I was like, I see Mason come out. I was like, well, if Ben wasn't that hurt, I'd expect him to come running out of that tunnel like. What's the guy?
Like Superman?
He's something. What's the guy that came out in the garden when he was on one leg? The basketball guy. What's his name?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? The guy from the Celtics or the Knicks. The guy came out the Knicks and scored like he was on one leg.
No, I don't know.
Way back in the day, like in the 70s, whatever. But it happened.
I remember Byron Leftwich did that in college. They had to carry him up, to each one, the big windmill thrower.
When Ben didn't come out, and then I see Mason, and I'm like, and I see his big, stupid eyes, his dimple, stupid chin. And I knew it was bad when my wife, first thing she says is, Mason, buckle the rest of your chin out. I go, this dude's, oh, here we go. And I just didn't, I think, because he completed his first pass. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, for like a yard and a half, I think.
I lost all faith when I saw them have trips on the left side and one receiver on the bottom side. And he threw it to that one receiver on the bottom side. I'm going, what are you doing, you stupid, dumb-faced dummy?
That was him.
When all we needed was a extra 2 or 3 yards. So Boz have to kick it from the moon. I was like, can you just...
Boy, he kicked a 59-yarder too. Who'd have thought that?
Oh, I think I actually got up and left the room because I was like, there's no way. I was like, time to go for the bathroom break. It's halftime. I was like, there's no way he's making this. And then I took 2 steps out and I go, oh, this looks kind of good. But yeah, I mean.
Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, who do you think gives the Steelers the best chance to win as a backup? Do you think it's Mason? What about Dobbs?
I don't think the best person to help the Steelers win is on this roster.
It's got to be one of them. It's not the duck. But at least, I mean, with Dobbs, you get your legs. You get legs. I mean, does Mason throw a better ball than Dobbs?
Let me just tell you this. I mean, okay, if Dobbs is better, he'd be the backup. That just tells you how crappy Dobbs is too. If he can't beat I mean, like I made the statement before, TJ. We traded Dobbs to Jacksonville. He was the third string quarterback at Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they suck. I mean, if you can't, I think Dobbs is equally sucky. And he's a smart dude. That's all I can say. Dobbs probably stinks too, but like seeing Mason, it enrages me. There's like a fire that just goes.
Well, he's what we got. I mean, it's just these are the guys. We got to pray that Ben doesn't get hurt. I mean, he goes south. Our season goes south quickly.
Mason stinks, man.
He does. He does stink. So here's another question on this is I think it's a good one. Tim, did anyone get added to the list today? For those of you that don't know, Tim has this list. And on this list, there's people, some are sports figures, some are national celebrities, people, anybody at some point can make the list. Corporations can make the list. Nonprofits can make the list, like the Boy Scouts of America. Anybody can make the list. Tim, did this game merit anybody making the list today?
People were on the list. They came off the list. Boswell was very close to making the list.
He was. Who was on the list that came off?
After Barry's first punt, he was high on the list. Then he came off the list.
It's a good call.
Mike Tomlin was on this list at one point too. Turned into the game. If they lose that game, the whole coaching staff was on the list.
I hope word doesn't get out because I'm sure they would be crushed to know that they were on the list.
I mean, my physical ability is on the list now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's bad. There was a lot of people off and on the list, man. Like I had no reason to be mad at Marky Mush. He somehow was on the list. There was a lot of people on the. I was getting texts from random Cowboy fans that, before the game were like, "Don't waste your time texting me. We know we're bad." Blah blah blah. I was like, I'm not going to do that anyways. And of course, they start when I get texts from. I'm like,
I got the same thing.
I'm like,
these Cowboy fans. You got to be. I was just quiet. Then when we won, I just texted about 8 people, never a doubt. That's all I sent, and it's done.
So there was plenty of. I mean, I think my daughter was going to put me on the list at one point. That's what's going to happen.
She might. That's put you on the list and put you in the home. Here's a good question. How bad does the Steelers defense miss Alu?
They can't stop the run. I mean, it's just glaring. They can't stop the run when he's not there.
He's a force in the middle, and they have nobody to replace him.
I don't understand why. Just go pick up some big fat guy. Just let him.
Are you pushing for Poe? Is that who you're pushing for?
At this point, I'd go see what Vince Wilfork's doing. He's probably 800 pounds now. Just say, hey, Vince, just sit here. That's all you got to do. Just don't let anybody move you. I mean, good God, that run defense. You need to do something with that thing, man.
I think they miss him. I think he was playing all pro caliber before he went out. So hopefully we get him back in the next few weeks. I think that'll help a lot.
But at this point, it's like you're 8-0. I'm not rushing him back for nothing.
No. Make
sure you are 1,000% healthy. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. But who am I? I'm just a guy with a bad sciatica.
I think it does merit going to get somebody. They got some cap space. They dropped Wisniewski again, right? They just jettisoned him.
I hope that doesn't come back to bite them.
I think they'll be okay with it. I think the guy can't stay healthy. I mean, what good is he if he can't stay healthy?
He tore his pec at the beginning of the year. What do you want him to do?
You know what? I think
that's a freak. That's a freak injury, dude.
I think they like the guys that they have there. I think they'll be okay. Again, I think they got some good young guys, but I'm with you. I think they should go get Poe. I think they should go get, beef that up a little bit. You get somebody, you get a run stopper in the middle, man. The 3-4, you need that nose guard, man. You got to find that Casey Hampton. You got to find that big guy.
It's obvious that who they got there now. I mean, but there's 3 that they're running out there. The rookie kid, the dude with the long hair, he made a play though. He did make a play, but I I think it was one of those things where the running back just accidentally ran into him and he kind of just tripped over his hair or something. And bugs, you got to do something. That you got to.
I'm interested to see once they get Williamson in there. They've been using a lot of their outside backers in some creative ways, and I'm anxious to see once they get somebody in there that's actually a true middle linebacker, if all that goes away.
But here's my thing, though. I mean, he dressed today. He got a helmet.
I don't think he could play still. I think it's the COVID.
No,
stuff.
he got a helmet today. He dressed.
Oh, then maybe he just wasn't up to speed yet.
But why did he dress him? If you're gonna get a helmet, you're a linebacker. Follow the ball, hit somebody.
Yeah,
that's what I would have told him. I mean, just hit somebody.
As that tight end runs right past you.
I don't care. The same thing as Spillane was doing today.
They had a good game plan against us.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, they did. Because how many times did I see like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb on like TJ Watt, Bud Dupree? I'm going, what the heck is going on?
I know. Well, you got to think if you're the Steelers, they came in to do what? Stop Ezekiel Elliott, stop the run. And what did the Cowboys do? They came at him with the pass. They said, we're just going to pass it. And you're right. I don't think we made the adjustments we needed to. We've been doing pretty good with adjustments all year, but this game, we didn't really do a great job. Now, at the very end, we started to get some pressure. And again, when you get pressure on Gilbert, he's a different quarterback. So I don't know. I think we have to do a better job with that, especially, Burrows. I like him. I think he's a good QB. I think right now I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think he's the second best QB in the AFC North.
Nah,
I think he's a better passer than the other two. I think in 10 years.
Okay, there's difference. There's a difference between in 10 years or now.
He's put up good numbers.
I'm not going to. I can't put him above the reigning MVP. That's banana talk. That's banana land talk.
When the money's on the table, I mean, are you when the money's on the table, are you a Jackson fan?
I haven't seen enough of Burrow.
I'm just saying right now. Has Jackson won games that he's had to win?
No.
Has Baker Mayfield in his dumb commercials won the games that he needs to win?
No, I would never take. I think Baker stinks. But I don't think. I mean, what is Burrow? He's beaten what, 2 teams?
I mean, he's played really well.
How many does Cincinnati have? They won one?
I think they have 2, don't they?
I
don't have that here.
Throw up fest next week.
We'll have to look. We'll see. I don't know. Here's the last one in the Yinzer mailbag. It's interesting. Talk about the resurgence of Mika Fitzpatrick. He's back. But he looked like a ball hawk today, man. He was all over.
He's playing good ball. He's playing good ball. He's playing good ball. I mean,
he was flying around today.
I wonder if that has a lot to do with Devin Bush being out of the lineup too.
It might be. I mean, Bush eats up a lot of space. Again, we know Williams is not going to replace Bush. Nobody can replace Bush. But
he can't be any slower than Spillane, dude.
I don't think he is. Spillane, he's pretty slow.
I mean, Spillane.
He's a good run stopper, but that's about it.
I don't think he really stopped the run today, too. I think he came glaringly crashing down to the earth today.
He did. Again, in a 3-4, you need those big guys to keep your guys clean. And when you don't have a middle guy keeping those linebackers clean, they're done. I mean, they're done. Vince Williams is big enough to kind of fend for himself, but those other guys can't. You need a big guy occupying people. I was not impressed with our middle presence today. I mean, Tuitt had some good stuff, and in the end, man, that last play where Cam Hayward just imposed his will on the left side of the Dallas Cowboys. He ran through 3 guys and just said, "No, I'm just going to take this over now." That's just impressive, and he's not 100% either.
But that's like stuff like I thought TJ Watt was a lot of places today. I thought he was pretty. Like, Bud, what are you, Bud? Where are you at, Bud? Bud, where you at, Bud?
He did not look like in a comfortable place today. He just didn't. I don't know what was going on.
I mean, come on.
So hopefully they got to fix that. Sometimes they use these guys and they're remarkable athletes.
I understand.
I think they took like the game plan for this week is what they used against Jackson, and Jackson's a different quarterback than Gilbert. I don't know why.
You think Jackson's different from Gilbert?
Slightly. So I think that they.
TJ, did you watch they were showing some of his clips from the What's the league? I don't even know what the league is.
The AAFL or whatever it was.
TJ, that dude stinks.
I'll tell you what. I'll make a prediction for the Cowboys.
And if you think Mason has a dumb face, that dude has even a dumber face.
He does. I think under Gilbert, what I saw today, I think he's a better quarterback than how Wentz is playing. Wentz is playing terrible. He's a turnover machine.
I mean, we should almost call this podcast period after that statement. That is just absolutely malarkey.
You know, he did what you needed him to do.
You just called
good balls.
Stupid face Dilbert. Is his name Gilbert or Dilbert?
It's Gilbert.
I'm going to call him Dilbert. Stupid face Dilbert. Better than Carson Wentz.
Well, he's playing better. I think he played this game better than – I mean, Carson, didn't he have 4 turnovers last game?
TJ.
He's a turnover machine.
TJ, if you would have if you would have pressured and blitzed Dilbert with the stupid face, I think this game wouldn't have been close.
Let me ask you a question.
They sat back and they just were like, hey, dumb face, just throw the ball.
Do you think if Gilbert played last week against the Eagles that the Cowboys win?
No, you know why?
Why?
Because the Eagles front four is better than the Steelers front four. No, it's not. The Eagles front four is really good. Their 2 middle guys are really good. No. Dilbert's stupid face. No, because Philly would have blitzed them. When you're dealing with bums like that, you blitz them till the cows come home. If they beat you once or twice, oh well. You know what? They may beat you, but you're gonna, they're gonna get up looking out of their ear hole, and it's not gonna happen the rest of the game. The Steelers didn't do that. They sat back and they let stupid face Gilbert, I don't know what his name is, do stupid things.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe they're missing Hilton more than we realize, because he really is that middle blitzer that comes in, and again, I don't know where he's at with his shoulder. Hopefully he's getting stronger. I knew didn't he have some limited practice this week?
He's practiced the past couple weeks, man. So
and we didn't really hear. Usually Cam Sutton, you hear his name a little bit more, but we didn't hear him at all. So, well, that's all we had in the Yinzer mailbag today. Again, if you get any questions,
I just got some pop through. We did get something late in the Yinzer's mailbag from.
We did. Well, speak it out. What did we get?
I'm just reading it right now. I mean, this is like breaking Yinzer bag mail news. I mean, it's kind of questions to be asked. Is Boswell on the list? We kind of went through that.
Yeah.
D-line any better? Thought they played terrible.
Yeah, they weren't very good. We need Alu back.
Did Tomlin try to lose it? How come he hasn't gone for any 2-point conversions this year? Which is a good call. He used to there was like the Steelers were just like the 2-point conversions machines.
Well, they did go for one tonight,
but they would go for it when they didn't need it. They would just go for 2 points just for the heck of it.
Hmm.
Again, the question: how many plays does Ben have left this season?
Doubters. These are doubters. I don't even why we're even entertaining this late Yinzer mailbag entry.
Is Claypool your new Hines Ward?
I think Juju's our new Hines Ward.
Juju is. Yeah, Marcus Mush. What are you talking about?
Now, I do like Claypool's fire. Don't get me wrong. He's a young buck, but man, you talk about your safety blanket. Holy cow.
I know.
And then Juju gives you exactly what you need when you need it.
I agree. And then here's a pretty interesting question. What's your thoughts on seeing AB back in uniform tonight?
I think it'll be short-lived, because I think if what I've been hearing is correct, he has another court issue with the law.
It got pushed back. So he is actually clear for this whole entire season. I read that this morning.
Wow.
Doesn't mean he won't go banana land at some point, but.
So why would you bring, I understand he's a great wide receiver, but it's not like Tampa Bay is struggling at that position. You risk the chemistry of what you have now. I mean, he could still be the best wide receiver in the league, but let's go back in the Wayback Machine. It reminds me a little bit of when Jordan came back mid-season with the Bulls, and he just was not the player that he was until the following year, because he didn't go through all the stuff. Now, I know they said that he was in great shape and they were all surprised. Of course they're going to say that, but you know what? We're in week 8.
Mhm.
Half the season's done. Now, again, he could be fresh down the stretch, or he may never catch up to the end of it. Who knows? I think before it's out, I don't think he'll finish with the Bucks. I think something will happen.
I mean, he's living with Tom.
Tom's doing everything he can. He's like, this is your room. He probably wakes him up in the morning, make sure he's okay. But you can't.
I mean, that's got to be weird, right?
Oh, you think?
Just living with Tom.
Yeah.
That's got to be weird, man.
Obviously, Tom believes he needs him to win another championship.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of agree with Tom. He's good at football, but it's just, to me, I mean, it's just weird. Can you picture what that morning's like? Like, you're waking up, you're just like, hey, B, you want some eggs? It's just weird to me.
Yeah, I think it also tells you too a little bit of Tom's. Is that because of hospitality, or is that because Tom is trying to keep him in a contained atmosphere?
I mean, is Giselle and the kids down there too? Is it Giselle, kids, Tom, and AB?
I wouldn't want AB around my wife. I'll say that.
I just got so many questions. Like, what are they doing at night?
I just know. Watching the Wheel of Fortune, probably watching Family Feud. I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, do you like picture like Tom be like, "Hey, AB, come on, we're going to go watch some film now," and AB like, "No, I'm good. I'm doing whatever AB does." Some just doesn't. I don't know. It just seems very weird to me.
I do feel like something happened to him, man. I mean, now when you hear more of the stories,
you know what happened to him? Number 55 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's perfect. He's a criminal. He's a criminal. I think that
ever since that perfect hit, AB's been on a magic carpet ride. That's what happened.
Yeah, he's never been right. I feel bad for the guy. But again, I think he's spectacular. But what's he now? Is he in his early 30s?
Yeah,
I mean, he's getting older.
So.
He's not the end.
Yeah, I think he's probably. I would say he's probably
31, maybe 32.
I think he's actually. You got to be older than that, right?
Maybe 33. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it works out for him. And again, I think it'll be interesting to me. I'm surprised that he's even in the league. I think I'll just be honest with you. I think the NFL sending a terrible message with allowing him to play.
I mean, they let a guy in a white suit that murdered people in the league forever.
Well, I think guys like I mean, another Raven. I think like Ray Rice. That thing happened with his wife. That abuse. He was gone. They shut the door. He never came back. If we're going to really be about this, Goodell.
Okay, let's just
be consistent.
Let's just tread lightly with that.
Ben is totally reformed. Ben loves Jesus now. He's totally reformed.
Just tread lightly. I mean, I know my guy wouldn't do anything like that, but I've heard people talk about my guy like that.
So is there anything else in that last Yinzer thing, or is that it?
He said something about Notre Dame with the Steelers being undefeated, Quink and Ink. I said, don't worry. Clemson's going to tear you guys up and come to the championship game when you play again anyways.
I know, when they get their quarterback back.
I mean, but I did see the funniest tweet of the night did you watch that game, the Notre Dame Clemson game?
Uh-huh.
At the end of the game when, the Notre Dame fans are storming the field, I think Rich Eisen tweeted, all you saw was like the 1,000 foot picture of the field, and you saw all the fans, whatever. And he's like, wherever Trevor Lawrence, he's like, it's the New York Jets, get Trevor Lawrence out of that stadium as quick as possible.
That's true. That's true.
Get him away. He doesn't want the COVID. I was like, yeah, that makes about sense. So don't worry. Which would make it even funnier is if somehow I would say it's be funnier, but there was just a rabid COVID outbreak just because all those players and those people stormed the field around that team and Notre Dame can't finish the season. Break my heart.
That would break my heart. Irony, wouldn't it? That'd be interesting.
Break my heart.
So that's all we have for the Yinzer mailbag. Again, if you got any questions for us, any comments, any ideas, any endorsements, paid endorsements, we'll take that. You can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough, we'll read your question on the show. Tim, I have to admit, I thought that you may be right on this Tomlin special. But again, even though
TJ,
we were nervous.
I made the statement it's going to happen one of these 3 games.
You did.
I said we'd win, and I said we'd win in hold on to the Pampers and Imodium type of fashion.
You did. You called it.
Tomlin special is still going to happen one of these 3 games. It's either this next game or it's against Jacksonville. And if it's against Jacksonville, yikes.
Jacksonville's bad.
I don't know. It's happening. The special's going to happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Steelers are probably not going to go undefeated since only one team has. But I don't know if it's necessarily going to be the Tomlin special. Let's hope
it's going to be the Tomlin special.
I think it's possible we could see the Ravens again on Thanksgiving night, 10-0.
Tomlin special.
There's Tim living in his fears. But you were closer to this than I was. I thought it'd be a blowout. I think I called, what would I say, 31-10 or 17 or something like that. And you called a close game, which was 24-19. So you called a good game. So Tim, we'll give you the nod on this one. It was pretty good. I was getting nervous. I'll admit that, but the Steelers prevailed.
Mm-hmm.
My coach pulled it out, which is great. So next week we have the resurgent Bengals. I think we're going to have our work cut out for us, but I think we're going to play well. And then again, I think everybody that plays us, it's their Super Bowl now, especially for the Bengals. It's an AFC North thing. I do like the idea too. I watched part of the Indy Ravens game, and I thought for a while Indy had them, but to no avail. But I do like
if I was an Indy fan, I would be like Philip Rivers would just enrage me to watch him play football.
I'm not a Rivers fan.
I'm just not. He'll be good for 3 series, and then you'll be like, dude, is this Dilbert dressed up in Philip Rivers' uniform?
I'm not a Rivers fan. They always made him an elite QB. I don't think he's an elite QB.
Watching him today was just maddening. I'm kind of going,
what has he done? What has he done?
He's passed for a lot of yards.
Oh, that's great. But what has he done? I mean, did he win anything with the Chargers?
I think they got to an AFC title game.
No rings. There's no rings.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, so we'll see what he does, but I was hoping they'd help us out, but they didn't. So I don't know. So we have our work cut out for us next week against the Bengals. Tim, anything else you'd like to add before we sign off on our podcast today?
No, I mean, I just got to stop eating chocolate. It just.
There he goes again. So what is the chocolate combination that you got to eat now to keep this thing humming? What is it again?
I mean, this is the wrappers of the bag. I just ate this basically 10 minutes before the podcast and whatever's in here now. There's everything over there. Reese's, Snickers, Kit Kats.
Because you can't run out because now it's part of the tradition.
It has to run out soon, TJ. I'm getting.
Can you feel the diabetes like sneaking around the corner, peeking at you?
I look in the mirror and I disgust myself.
that Melissa's a lucky woman, huh?
I'm sickening. I mean,
well, it's all for the team. That's what I would say.
TJ, I was rubbing my butt against the corner of the couch because my sciatic hurts because probably my lower back's out of whack because I'm so fat from eating candy.
Well, I mean, at least you took one for the team. I mean, you were in your correct positions today, right?
I was, and I think it sucks. It's like I know my wife. She already told me when I was rubbing my butt against the sciatica. I got a massage gun. She's like, I'm not doing the massage gun on your back. Not doing it. Not doing it. I'm gonna have to live with this for the next. I'm playing hurt, guys. I'm playing hurt.
Well, Tim, we appreciate it. Steeler Nation, we appreciate it. Again, that's our podcast for tonight. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Again, our Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Cowboys 24-19 tonight to move to 8-0. It's time to celebrate the win. It's a good night, Tim. We'll sleep well. Face the world tomorrow.
I won't sleep well.
Well, I'm going to sleep great. I'm going to have me some pizza. I'm going to sleep great. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.